Very warm welcome, guys, to my channel this particular afternoon. I want us to watch this particular video from Senator Kajwang, because he seemed to have a very important point, and if he's speaking with the blessings of Baba, then it's going to change a political sphere of this country, because what Senator Kajwang has said is going to transform the political landscape going 2027. Let's watch the video first before I proceed.
One thing must be made clear, that to build a political movement of the stature and nature of ODM is no mean task. And therefore, ODM shall remain and ODM shall be on the ballot in 2027. That is a plan, that is a strategic plan of the party. Political parties are formed so that people can compete on the basis of policies and ideologies, and the person with the best ideology carries the day and implements them for the betterment of the people. Right now, we are conscious that elections are still 2 years away, and the challenges that this country faces requires us all to work together. It requires us all to be on the table. And this is the reason why we got into the broad-based government, because we realized that if Kenya Kwanza was allowed to continue running the country unilaterally as they did, then the politics of exclusion that has been a problem in this country was going to be perpetuated, and that there would be certain parts of this country that would be starved of development. And that is why our party leader agreed to partner with William Ruto to stabilize the economy and to deal with the unrest that followed the finance bill. But we still are a distinct political movement, and in 2027, ODM will field candidates across the country, and depending also on the political dynamics then, we still expect that ODM will have a presidential candidate at the ballot. Now, for those with dissenting voices on broad base, we fought for opening up of the democratic space so that everyone can be given an opportunity to express themselves. I would not want to join this bandwagon where people are calling out someone like Governor Orengo or Sifuna for saying certain truths. We cannot be a choir, praise and worship choir as ODM. Those are not the values that ODM stands for. ODM does not stand for sycophancy. ODM stands for loyalty and patriotism to the nation. And in as much as we are in the broad-based government, if things are not working right, we shall still speak out on them. If there are abductions, that is contrary to the Constitution, we'll speak out on them. If the health sector is not working, we'll speak out on them. If the education sector is not working, we'll speak out on them. But we'll do it with respect, and we'll do it in a manner that does not allow the country to disintegrate. So within ODM, let us allow different and divergent voices to speak. It is nothing wrong. It is part of our democratic.
Well, from the video that you have just watched, Senator Kajwang says that ODM is going to field candidates on all levels. Underline the word all levels, meaning from the MCA, the MPs, the senator, the women rep, the governor, all the way to the presidency level. ODM is going to have a candidate. So this begs a very important question, because is Senator Kajwang speaking with the blessings of Baba, so to speak, because Baba is ODM and ODM is Baba? So is Senator Kajwang speaking with the blessings of Baba, or it's just his own personal opinion? Remember, a few months ago, Simba Arati also echoed the same. Simba Arati said that ODM is a big party, a party that cannot afford to fold up and join other party. Rather, it's other party to fold up and join them. This tells you that if the pact that Raila Amolo Odinga signed with President William Samoei Ruto is something to go by, then President William Samoei Ruto has to vie for presidency on the ODM ticket, because these guys are saying that they are going to field candidates on all levels. But a good question, or an important question in this particular scenario, is that what is the worst that can happen if ODM decides to fold with other party, or if ODM decides to field their own candidate in 2027 general election? It's going to bring a lot of confusion in Kenyan politics. Remember, currently, if you can see the president very well, he has aligned his agenda with that of ODM. If you see the appointments in the so-called broad-based government, and even the recent appointment, one was done yesterday, that tells you that the president is doing everything he can to make sure that ODM is on board and Raila Amolo Odinga does not bolt out. This tells you that a very interesting scenario could happen if ODM decide, quote unquote, to betray the president and run on their own. The president will become weak and he will have to solicit or to look for votes in other quarters of the country. And that tells you that perhaps he's going to extend his hand to one Kalonzo Musyoka. Remember, despite Kalonzo Musyoka being called a watermelon, this time round Kalonzo Musyoka has proved his critics wrong. Kalonzo Musyoka has been very vocal in opposition, has said he's not going to betray Kenyans and is going to make sure that the president backs and go in 2027 general election. This tells you that the president will have perhaps to entice Kalonzo with a bigger seat, and the bigger seat I mean perhaps number 2, and so that Kalonzo would bring all the votes, Ukambani votes. Remember, so many Kambas normally listen to Kalonzo. We cannot ignore fact. I mean, so that tells you that the president will have to look for Kalonzo and try to woo him into his basket and make sure that he doesn't lose the votes of Ukambani region. And he'll also try to look for votes in Western Kenya, because Western Kenya doesn't vote in one basket. So the president knows if he plays his cards well and visits Western Kenya, perhaps revives so many industries, including the controversial Mumias Sugar Company thing. I believe if he managed to revive that, and also there is important to know that currently the president is in China. And if the president decides, comes with the goodies from China, rumors has it that the Nairobi, Nakuru, all the way to Eldoret and Malaba is going to be a dual road, and that is going to entice the Westerners to vote President William Samoei Ruto. So the sentiments of Senator Kajwang's begs a lot of questions, because it seems he's speaking with the blessings of the party leader. Remember, when you want to kill a dog, you first give it a bad name. It all starts by painting something in a negative way, and thereafter you bolt out and say, this is not what we agreed. You only agreed to stabilize the country with this broad-based formation until this particular date, and not beyond 2027 general election. If it is your first time on my channel, guys, could you kindly just spare a moment of your time and hit that subscription button and put on a notification bell as well, so that when I do subsequent videos, you'll not miss out. Adios.